So in 2020, I've got a manager. I'm up in Nashville. He's introducing me to great people. He introduced me to D-Ray. D-Ray used to be in Crazy White Boys with Haystack Jelly Roll and all them. At the studio in Dixon, Tennessee, which is just outside of Nashville. You pull up and it's a pole barn. And this was the first pole barn I had seen that was this nice. On the outside, it just looks like this big metal shack. But you go inside and it's just beautiful. And D-Ray at the time was working on co-writing the song Save Me by Jelly Roll. So D-Ray produced my entire first album. And the first song we cut after Pallets was Home Sweet Home. So when it came time for the music video, Johnny got Charlie P. Charlie P I still consider a very good friend.
I just wanna walk through Kentucky bluegrass, sip a little whiskey from Tennessee. Maybe ride through the Carolinas, dip my feet in the ocean and inhale the breeze. And maybe take a trip to Old Stone Mountain.
Manages Bubba Sparks, Bez Believe, Young Buck, a few others.
A good old Iron Bowl rivalry. Man, I love my country.
So we had the team going, pretty well. And I'm drinking more and more. I don't think I realized how much. It was very well known and an ongoing joke that if I showed up anywhere at any time of the day and I didn't have beer, there was a problem. At this time, if there was cocaine around, I was doing cocaine. I don't know, I guess just thinking in my head that I'm living like country music's Motley Crue.
I just wanna walk through Kentucky bluegrass, sip a little whiskey from Tennessee. Maybe ride through the Carolinas, dip my feet in the ocean and inhale.
Things spiral and get out of hand really quick before you realize it. So another song that I recorded at this time was Only Addiction. We were actually able to get Layla's on Broadway to let us use the spot to record that music video in. And we got a couple of actors that did really good. The guy that was playing the main character in the video, it was his house that we shot at him. And he wasn't a smoker, and we actually got him to light up a cigarette in his house for the video.
I need to give that Jim Beam a rest. I need to stop letting my temper get the best of me. And I need to start loving you harder. I need to start holding you longer. And I need to let you bring out the best in me. I need to remember you're the only addiction I need.
There was a scene where she had to slap him, and we made them do it like 3 or 4 times, just slap him harder. They did good though. That was a fun experience. I'm getting rained on. Dadgummit. So when I go back to Florida, I'm still playing these little gigs. And my drinking was just getting worse and worse. One time I was playing at the Floribama and I got fired because I was playing one of my dirtier songs. And I was pretty drunk. Poured water in the tip bucket. Trey Lewis at the time was playing the Floribama in a different room, and they asked him to come fill in and take over my set.
No, just right here.
I used to play these songwriters events, and there was one of the Purple Parrot. And I get there early with the girl that I'm seeing at the time, and I start drinking. I start drinking early. And then my favorite thing was fireball shots. I get on stage and play, and people are just bringing me shot after shot after shot, which is to be expected. And afterwards, I decide to sit and wait and drink some more. I knew the people at this bar pretty well because I'd played there many times. And the guy that was running the event is actually Nick, the guy that introduced me to Bobby, the first person that ever took me to Nashville. So it's not really that late, maybe 11 something at night, and I'm just plastered. And I can't find the bartender, and there's only like 5 of us in the bar. My drunk ass thinks it's okay if I try to be funny and go behind the bar and drink out of the bottles. Getting to this argument, they're like, no, Austin, it's time to go home, it's time to go home. And some dude that I don't know is just like up in my face telling me it's time to go home. And I'm so drunk that I'm thinking like he's being aggressive. And so I swing and I crack him right in the tooth. My buddies get me out. I can't even walk. All right, through the parking lot. I'm tumbling through gravel, like literally rolling around on the gravel. Get to the car, and the girl that I'm with is trying to like get me in the passenger seat, you know, and help me get in there. And I hear somebody say something. And I don't know if it was or not, but in my mind I'm thinking, is this dude trying to fight? I'm in a rowdy mood. So I try to stand up out of the car, and when I do, she's right there, and I go to fall. Well, she goes with me. So we fall on the ground, and when we go to get back up, her son, who was 6 years old at the time, jumps on my back. And I don't know why, he's just a kid, you know. To be honest, the fact that I even drank that much in front of children in general is just ridiculous. He's on my back, but I can hear footsteps running and somebody hollering at me, so I grab him off my back. Next thing I know, I'm on my back giving my face pummeled in. The guy that I hit inside the bar, his friend, had ran up on me and was just beating my face in. I remember it, but I was so drunk that like I didn't feel it or didn't care. I'm just laying there taking it. I mean, he had to have me pretty close to like unconscious because, you know, I'm kind of like in and out, and then the cops are there and I'm getting arrested. I'm assuming I'm getting arrested for either public intoxication or, you know, battery, hitting that dude inside the bar or whatever. After I'm in the back of the cop car, everything's kind of a blur. While I'm in the cell at jail for receiving, I look at my charges and it's child endangerment and battery. I'm like, what the hell? So I call the girl that I was with at the time, and she's saying, I don't know, Austin. I don't know. We both told them that is not what happened, and they took pictures, and they know that we were fine, and that's not what happened. According to her, this guy's friend had said that that's what happened. He said from a distance, he saw that I had slammed her down, and that I had thrown this little boy to try to hurt him or something. And he tried to make it look like that's why he was attacking me. Didn't try to press charges for me hitting this friend. Okay, you know, that's fine. There's footage, there's something, right? You know, there's evidence that this didn't happen. I'll be fine. So within a few hours, I'm put into a pod. I'm waiting on my first appearance because it was so late. By the time I got arrested, I had to spend a whole day in there before I got my first appearance. I get on the phone with her again early that morning, and she says, Austin, you guys have a TV in your pod? And I said, yeah. She said, do not let them turn the news on.
Local musician is accused of playing at a bar, getting drunk, and going on a violent rampage, injuring a woman and a child. Escambia County, Florida deputies are charging this man, 27-year-old Austin Foreman, with battery and child abuse. Authorities say Foreman was told to leave the bar after he had one too many drinks and started drinking from bottles behind the bar of the Purple Parrot Tiki Bar and Grill. Before throwing a woman to the ground, deputies say he also grabbed a child by his face and threw him down. Foreman is known for his viral song about voter fraud called Pallets Full of Ballots. It has 900,000 views on YouTube.
I'm shocked. I'm like, oh my God, dude. She said they're running it all over the news. The things they were saying about you is crazy. They just took whatever they put in that report and they're just running with it on the news. I'm thinking, man, this is it. It's over for me. I honestly thought that I was going to get killed in jail. Because it doesn't matter what you say. If you're accused of something like that, people don't take too kindly to it in the big house. So I get through my first appearance, I get bailed out, and I go see my attorney. My attorney has all the evidence pulled, footage, witnesses, everything else. And then nothing really had to happen after that because he turned it over to the prosecutor, and then the prosecutor just dropped all the charges once they seen that that's not what happened. But that news article still remains and is still up. There is nothing that I can do about that. People have tried 2 or 3 times when they wanted to trash me to bring that up. All I have is the evidence on my side. If you look good enough, it's public record showing that the state dismissed the charges and didn't even take me to court. I've had people say domestic violence victims always back. It wasn't an individual that dropped the charges. It wasn't an individual pressing charges. The state dropped it. The state does not play about charges that involve children. Talking about this agitates me because I know that some people just look for the worst in people, and it doesn't matter what evidence you have or what you say, they're going to believe the worst. But if I'm telling my story, I'm telling the whole story. The day I get out of jail, I wrote this song called Ashes. My heart is racing, my soul is tired, in my head I'm still winning, in my brain I'm on fire. I knew that I had a bad drinking problem, and I was like, man, I gotta stop drinking. I see when I close my eyes, I see ashes, and I'm rising up again. No matter where I've been, I'll always be around. I struck the matches, so I'll pay the consequence. But I'm not extinguished yet, I'm about to burn it down. burning down. The not drinking thing, it didn't really work. I was going out to a restaurant and sneaking a shot, or waiting until nobody was around and chugging a beer. In my head, I was justified, you know, because it was like, I didn't do those things they're saying I did.
The one that killed and made a name without reading from the hymnals. I'm making my own lane and I ain't asking for forgiveness. I got a few followers, now they all wanna holler.
Now I understand that even though I didn't do the things that I was accused of, I was still in the wrong.
Starting to burn up, can you feel it getting
Very
hotter?
much in the wrong.
I see ashes, and I'm rising up again. No matter where I've been, I'll always be around. I struck the matches,
So everything kind of got put on hold at that moment.
but I'm not extinct.
And I'm thinking, how do I recover from this? I mean, everything in the news is saying this about me. I'm gonna have to explain this a million times over and over and over again in my life. I just decided that I know what the truth is, and that I'm not gonna let this stop me, that I've been working too hard at this and too long, and I'm just gonna go for it. So every song that I write and I sing, I live it. So I'm starting to work through that mess, and you're never gonna believe what the media did to me next.
And radio love, I see sunrise. See love in a woman's eyes. Feel touch of precious child. No mother's love. It's funny how it's little things in life.
Austin, give him a fuck
that
you.
mean the most now we live.
No, just right here.
But you drive with a price tag on your
Fuck
clothes.
your 4 pound.
There's no dollar sign.